138 to play. The ball to Kareem. Swing left. A 12-footer on the way. No. Rebound worthy. Yes! 3 seconds. Jordan. Oh, yes! Michael Jordan saves the day.
Let it fly. Here it goes. It is in the air, and it is good. Oh, my goodness. It is.
Go for it, man.
Nah, we can't.
The king of comedy right here.
We can't do that. How y'all doing out there?
What's going down, folks?
All right.
Back with another episode of S&S Sports. As always, I'm your boy Smitty.
Suave in the house. How y'all doing?
What's going on? Hope everything is good with everybody. This episode, we got some things to dive into. As usual, we got some NFL to talk about.
NFL news.
Free agency, some Atlanta Falcons stuff to talk about, some Dallas Cowboys stuff to talk about.
America's team has, a couple headlines in the past couple days,
bro, The people don't want to hear about that, man. Come on.
America's team.
America's team.
It sounds so good.
I could have sworn they took a poll talking about America's team, and it was no longer the Cowboys. I'm just throwing that out there.
Nah, man. Whoever did that poll was un-American, so I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to Jerry Jones.
And we also got some NBA to discuss with you guys. There's a lot going on in the NBA. We're wrapping up the regular season. Teams are jockeying in for position right now. We got the MVP race happening right now.
That's right. Every game matters right now. Every game counts.
Seriously. Yeah, win or go home. It's almost that time. And in the midst of everything, Steve Nash just ups and calls it a career.
Called it a career.
Just retired out of the blue. In my opinion, it's a little bit too late. He should have done it 3 years ago prior to signing that Laker deal. Could have saved us a little bit of money, but it is what it is. So we're going to dive into that and talk about some fun Steve Nash memories and what our thoughts are.
That's right.
Also, we have a very special guest joining us today, man.
Very special
I'm very excited, man. I know you guys are excited as well, but I'm telling you, it's an honor. It's a blessing to have this guy join us on the show today. Looking forward to that. And of course, we can't tease it any further. It's Khris Middleton, number 22 from the Milwaukee Bucks, none other, star shooting guard.
NBA baller, Khris Middleton.
No doubt. Dude will be a household name next year for sure. So like I said, we have a jam-packed episode to get to. So let's go on ahead and dive into it.
Let's do it, man.
So, free agency kicked off.
NFL free agency.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. A lot of big things happening right now. A lot of people going to teams they shouldn't go to. A lot of, people
a lot of moving parts.
Dumb decisions right now.
A lot
of dumb decisions.
A lot of people are panicking, trying to make moves.
People stepping over championship rings for pennies. A lot of stuff like that's happening.
People are getting paid right now, man.
They are, but at what expense, sir? At what expense,
So we got to talk about your Cowboys, since they're quote unquote America's team down there in Jerry world. Let's go down there really quick and see what Jerry is doing.
Jerry is sipping on some Johnny Walker right now.
Probably
listening to this podcast. Shout out to Jerry.
He's probably sipping on some Johnny Walker when he made some of these moves, or when he signed off some of these moves.
Sipping on ice, man.
Now, the thing that baffles me, like there's a list of players, and I'll name them really quick. We got DeMarco Murray, gone, signed with the Eagles.
He's dead to me. He's dead to me. Like Mr. Wonderful on what's that? Shark Tank. He's dead to me.
We got Justin Durant, linebacker. My Falcons picked him up. That dude could ball. You guys weren't even using him, but that's a whole different topic, and we'll dive into that in a second.
Yeah.
You guys lost another linebacker, Bruce Carter.
Yep.
You lost Jeremy Parnell, offensive tackle. He went to Jacksonville, and you lost a defensive tackle, Henry Melton.
Yes.
Okay. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of people to just walk out the door. That's a lot of offensive production, a lot of defensive production.
That's a lot.
I mean, we've had this discussion many times. In the Cowboys games that I watched last year, and I only watched a few of them, I saw DeMarco Murray carry your offense. He had 1,845 yards and 14 touchdowns last season.
Right. He did.
That's a lot of production, man.
He showed up. He knew it was a contract year.
Is that what that was?
I think the offensive line had a lot to do with it. Shout out to the offensive line.
Okay.
I feel like I could get 3.5 yards of carry with that offensive line. But I think that, Murray had a great year. He did. I'm not happy that he left,
It sounds like it, man. It sounds just like you just said that you can get behind that offensive line and get some yardage.
Well, I can.
So you can plug any player in pretty much, right?
I think that we will be fine. I'm not too sold on McFadden right now. I'll be honest.
And that's exactly what I was going to say.
I'll be honest with you.
You already got me on that one.
I'll be honest with you now. Maybe I should go behind and pick up the ball for a couple carries a game. Now
you're gonna go walk
looking
on
at
to
McFadden.
Go see if you can get a tryout.
No offense to McFadden, you know,
man,
but,
he's Mr. Glass. Everybody knows that. His track record is proven.
Yeah, he's kind of, he gets a lot of injuries, but maybe this line will keep him from getting those hits. Playing with the Raiders, you really have no line, so he couldn't blame it on the Raiders.
I guess. I don't know, man. I think that DeMarco is special.
Yeah.
Period. I don't think you can just plug anybody in there. You need to have one of those top tier running backs, like an Adrian Peterson. Ultimately, I thought that's what the plan was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just letting DeMarco walk to free up some money and waiting until Adrian's situation kind of played itself out and eventually make a move. And it still can happen because the draft is going to be coming up pretty soon. And, training camp is after that and all that. So it can still happen, but I don't know, man. I really don't know what you guys are doing down there.
I saw as recently as today, I read an article that said that talks are still going on behind the scenes. It's not officially out of the question.
Okay.
But of course, we all know, especially from the Johnny Manziel situation, we know that Jerry Jones is no longer calling the shots. It's his son.
About time.
So,
I bet every Cowboy fan across the nation is standing and applauding at that situation right there.
That was funny how that worked out. Because, a lot of people probably don't know, I was a big Johnny football guy. I still think he didn't really get the chance he should have got last year, but he kind of shot himself in the foot. I'm not going to act like he was just, goody two-shoes now. But if he's going to, cut his teeth in the NFL, why not do it in a Dallas uniform? But we got a great player. We got a great offensive line now.
All right.
So it is what it is, dude.
I don't think the listeners really know the story behind everything that you're talking about right now.
Oh God.
Okay.
We don't have to get into it all the way now.
Just briefly. We're going to talk about it a little bit.
Our precious audience.
Going into last year's draft, this guy was done with Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Completely done.
Yeah, a lot of Cowboy fans have been done for many years.
A lot of you guys have. I've been screaming it from the top of the mountain that Tony Romo is not the only problem in Dallas. But yet everybody wants to blame Tony for everything that's going wrong in Dallas.
That's true.
Just because he's made a couple high profile mistakes in big moments, key parts of the game, fumbles, interceptions, or what have you. Sure, it's happened. But name a quarterback that hasn't had their bad plays.
Well, that's true. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks have crumbled under the pressure, but they usually seem to get it together. Now, I've seen Romo have great years and then throw a pick at the end.
Right.
I've seen him have bad years, then throw a pick at the end. I mean, it always seems to end the same way, no matter how the regular season goes. 45 seconds left, down by 6. Here he comes. Right. And I'm like, oh my God. I've seen this movie before. Here we go. So I can't even watch anymore.
Maybe he's not the best pressure.
Can't watch.
He's not the best pressure performer.
No. We have to be up by more than 7 with the game on the line before he gets back in the game. Because even if he throws that pick, we still got to be able to win by 2 or 3. We got to be up by 10.
I got you. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of Cowboys fans can also share that sentiment. But all I'm saying, and I've been saying this the entire time, based on the film that I've watched on Tony, he's not the reason. And you wanted to plug in Johnny Manziel. Johnny Football. Coming out of college, he was the hottest quarterback.
Yep.
Running around, making
signing
plays.
Autographs.
Nobody can catch him.
Hanging out with Drake. He's doing it all.
He was the man.
He was the man.
And the moment the Cowboys draft pick came up, you guys took, I think an offensive tackle or something like that. I don't know.
Zach Martin.
Yeah, you took Zach Martin. That was the best thing that had ever happened, in my opinion, to the Cowboys in recent years. And you know what actually happened was Jerry Jones got out of the way and let his football personnel actually call the shots for once.
Indeed.
Jerry did not intervene. So in my opinion, based on last season, what happened with Johnny and what happened with Romo, I say it was the right call. Now, you also added a few players. You franchise tagged Des Bryant, re-signed Doug Free, re-signed Rolando McClain. In addition to all that, you added Greg Hardy. You got to scratch your head a little bit at that signing, right?
I do. That was a controversial decision right now.
Risky.
Because we don't know his future. That's true. That's very true, man. I mean,
Now, the contract, as I read it, is really basic. There's no guaranteed money. It's really incentive laid. So he's going to have to show up and actually play to perform and earn his money.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Morality has to step in at some point, and you have to outweigh that. I know it's going to be a PR nightmare for the Dallas Cowboys PR staff, because as soon as he comes back, I'm pretty sure there's going to be protesting. There's going to be all kinds of off-the-field distractions. Can the Cowboys even afford that at this point, having had so much success and getting to the playoffs last season?
I think he's a kind of player that could help us a great deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
he's a beast.
Think, you know, when you look at how he performs on the field, I think they were like, we might as well lock this guy in. I'm not going to say lock him up. I don't want to hex the guy now. We might as well lock him in.
Close enough.
And then see what happens. Right. If he can play, he can play. If not, then, you know, it is what it is. But if he plays anywhere, he's going to play with us. You know what I mean? So that's better than letting the Redskins get him or something like that.
That is true.
You know?
That is true. And it is a team-friendly deal. You know, it's a wait-and-see deal. Let's see how he performs and then he makes his money.
We're not throwing a ton of money at him. And, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you think you guys did enough in free agency to still be competitive in the East?
I think we did. I think a lot of it's going to depend on everybody staying healthy, of course.
Sure.
I don't know how all the other teams are going to come together, but if we can stay on that same kind of energy level like we were towards the end of last year, I think we'll do all right. I mean, hopefully the 8 and 8 seasons are behind us, man.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. I'm hearing a lot of hypothetical from you over there, sir.
Keep moving forward,
Mr.
man.
America's team.
America's team, man. I mean, I'm not going to doubt us, but we got to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
You know, I always like to wait 2 or 3 weeks, see what we're looking like, see what I like, see what I don't like, and then, you know, make a further assessment. But yeah, for right now, it's a lot of question marks. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. But Seattle has shown you got to have good D. Offense can only take you so far. So we improved our D. We got a better record now. So hopefully we can just build on that, you know?
I don't know. I still see some holes in that team, man. To be honest with you, I look at that offense and I see DeMarco gone, who carried you guys the entire way last year, like I said.
Right.
And I see Dez Bryant. I see an aging Jason Witten.
Yep.
Who else do you guys have?
Well, don't forget about our aging quarterback. I mean, you know, we still got to get a replacement for this guy sooner or later.
He's coming off a career year, and he still wants to get rid of Romo.
We got hey, Tony, I love you, brother. You know, we go back. But
there's no love. There's no love for Romo whatsoever.
Brett Favre had Aaron Rodgers on the bench. Who do we have on the bench right now? You know, that's all I got to say. We got to have the next guy. You know, I thought Johnny might have been it. If not, we got to find somebody else, man. We got to start prepping the next guy. You know?
Okay. Yeah, start grooming the next QB.
It's got to happen.
Okay. Do you think that next QB might be in this draft, or you think maybe you're a couple of years away?
I think it's time to draft somebody.
Think it's time?
I mean, he's had enough. When I say he, I'm talking about Romo. He's had enough back surgeries.
Right.
You know, if Reggie White was still in the NFL, the guy probably wouldn't even be in the NFL anymore. He would have took Romo out already.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a whole different game back then.
Had enough back surgeries, you know. So I think it's time. We got to start looking forward because this guy's not young anymore.
Okay.
Especially once we, you know, hopefully lock down our place in the playoffs. We don't want to play him too much. You know, we got to have something coming off the bench, you know.
Right. Definitely time to groom a QB of the future. I agree with you on that front.
Definitely.
And we'll dive into the other teams in the NFC East and different divisions as we move along. But today we just want to touch on our team. So keeping things moving on the NFL front.
Right.
I got to dive in and talk about my Atlanta Falcons. Like, there's been some things happening in addition to free agency. But keeping it strictly on free agency, I'm not too sure how I feel, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm kind of on the outside looking in, kind of on the fence, kind of scratching my head at a couple of these moves. Now, we needed a pass rush.
Right.
We needed linebacker depth. And in my opinion, we didn't really do enough to go out and address all of those needs. I think we did enough to solidify what we have, to build a core foundation, and ultimately, you know, build in the draft and then later down the line in future years. We added Like I said earlier, Justin Durant, linebacker. Also, we picked up Brooks Reed from the Texans. Those are the only 2 linebackers we picked up. We still need a middle linebacker, and I'm sure we'll pick up a middle linebacker in the draft or what have you. So I'm not too concerned about that. My main concern is the pass rush. We had a chance to grab Brian Orakpo. We had a chance to grab Greg Hardy. Even though he has tons of off-the-field issues, I can understand why we didn't make the move.
Right.
We had a chance to grab Derek Morgan. Like, there's a list of guys we could have went after that would have given us an immediate impact on the field. You know, they might have not been top-tier pass rushers, but they definitely would have been a heck of an improvement from whatever we had last season and seasons prior.
Right. And this is a coach that, you know, really prides himself defensive.
Yeah, and putting the
first.
guys in the best position to make plays. Yeah,
definitely.
So he knows defense. He's a D-line guru, according to the reports and according to what you've seen up in Seattle. So I know he can make things work. He can draft some players and develop in that. So I'm not too concerned about it, but it would have been nice to see them spend a little bit more. We have tons of cap space, and we can go out and we can acquire some players. And it just would have been nice to see. Our key departures, we lost Harry Douglas, Justin Blaylock, Jonathan Massaquoi, and Steven Jackson. And Steven Jackson is pretty much going to retire in the next season or two anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. And Harry Douglas can easily be replaced, in my opinion, by Leonard Hankerson, the wide receiver that we picked up from, I think he was with the Redskins for the last few seasons or whatnot. And in my opinion, that dude has talent. Hankerson could be a legit wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Maybe even a wide receiver 1 if he's coached up, but I think he's kind of late in his career at this point. I think he's about 4 years or 5 years in the league. So I'm not sure how much more developing he has to do, but he's definitely could be a solid wide receiver 2 or 3, whatever we need.
Right.
So we can definitely get that production back with him. The pass rush, I'm still a little bit concerned. We picked up Adrian Claiborne. Bucks fans don't seem to think too highly of him, but you never know. A change of scenery can kind of rejuvenate guys and make them play a little bit better. So we'll see how that works out. And plus, like I said earlier, Dan Quinn's the defensive line guru, so maybe, you never know. I'm not predicting Pro Bowls or anything, but we'll see. Did we do enough on paper for us to be competitive in the NFC South? Well, if you look at the landscape of the NFC South last season, we were 1 game away from clinching the division. So I don't think it matters too much. I think we definitely improved. I don't think we improved enough to compete for a Super Bowl, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
That's right. That's right. It's a step in the right direction for you guys. Something else I wanted to bring up was I know you guys are opening a new stadium pretty soon, currently under construction, right?
That's right, yeah. A couple years.
All right. Now, I was just reading an Atlanta Falcons blog here, and it seems that season ticket holders are getting sent letters that states that
PSLs.
They need to shell over $90,000 in order to guarantee their seats in the new arena.
I believe it.
And it says if they don't do that, their other option is to put down a $200 deposit, let everybody else buy their tickets who has the $90,000, and then you get the leftovers.
Right.
So you might go from having great seats in the old stadium to being all the way up in the nosebleeds.
Or
and
not
paying
having
more.
seats at all.
Yeah. Or not having them at all.
It's going to be a hot attraction once it opens up.
Now, my question to you is, of course you don't think that's fair. Nobody would think that's fair except the owner.
Of course, the people making money off
right.
of it. Yeah.
But what do you think is going to be the outcome of that? You think they're going to have to just take that away and just keep things how they were with the original stadium? Or what do you think? It's
I think it'll be business as usual. It'll be business as usual. You see it across the NFL. All these new stadiums that are opening up, they all sell PSLs. You know, the public seat licenses or whatnot.
Right.
You have to designate or put aside a certain amount of money up front in order to even have the right to purchase season tickets. So it's a practice that's going through stadium to stadium to stadium right now. So I think it'll be commonplace in a matter of a couple of years. Yeah, everybody's in an outrage right now because it's different. Yeah. I personally don't like it because, you know, not everybody has that $90K.
Oh yeah, a lot of these season ticket holders are just working stiffs.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
They're not just sitting at the house
working at the factories or whatnot over in Atlanta. Like, I mean,
right. So who has $90,000? Even if you have, let's say you're doing all right, you got $100,000 in your account.
Yeah. Let
Are
me
you
just
gonna
go and
take
drop
90,000
and just drop it on.
Oh, forget
on
about the
tickets.
kids.
And
Forget
you're
about
only-
the house, you know. Oh,
you're only
I
there
had to get
7
our
or 8
tickets.
games a season. You know?
Exactly.
Now that they started taking some of these games to
$90,000.
London now, so you might only get 7 home games. So
That's
I
incredible.
don't think it's fair, man, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think it's the sign of the times of the owners finally understanding how valuable a product the NFL really is.
Making
If they
that
can
money.
get away with that, and they're doing it because, like I said, all these new stadiums that are opening up are all doing the similar thing.
Yeah. So you got to guarantee whenever
That's
this
guaranteed money.
Los
Off
Angeles
the top.
system gets together, they're going to be asking for $150,000.
Whatever they want.
You know,
And
just
you know
to
what?
get. It's going to be Jack Nicholson sitting there with Denzel.
People
you know,
will pay it. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to pay it. They're going to have like financing options and this and that.
Yeah.
People will pay it. Let's get some
People are
people
going to
in
be
debt.
paying house notes.
It's messed up. They're going to be paying mortgages. You're
to
right.
watch the LA
Just
team
for
that
PSLs.
comes. Yeah.
Just for the possibility of getting a seat. So it's crazy,
That is
man.
incredible, man.
It's crazy. This is the way that we're headed.
Yeah, my eyes bugged out of my head when I saw it. I said $90,000.
But it's going to be a crazy stadium, though, man.
$90,000?
It's not.
I want to come out. I want to come out the tunnel. Like, give it up for the season ticket holders. And I'll come out. You know, I want to come out. Yeah, I want my props.
Put on some pads. You know, I'm gonna catch a
90,000.
pass. No, I get you.
I want a jersey.
I'm right there
all
with you.
that. I
Bro,
want it all,
that's-
man. I want a handshake before the game. Everything. You know.
That's just ridiculous, man. But like I
NFL.
said, they're getting away with it, and people are going to pay it, regardless of what that price is, because that's how popular the NFL is.
Yeah, for every guy who's gonna look at that letter and just shake his head and forget about getting tickets, there's gonna be a few guys that just cut a check without even blinking. You know, like, oh, 90,000, okay, that's it. Boom,
No
you
doubt.
know. I'll
What
take
I'm
4
really
seats.
hoping happens is they work out some alternate method, you know, because I'm sure not all of them are going to be PSLs. Like, they're going to have some regular season tickets for sale
They got
at
they have
normal
to.
prices, you know, for
They
the
have
regular
to,
folks.
man. Yeah, if a guy just happens to be in town for the weekend and he's got $50-$60 in his pocket, he should be able to get into the game and
they'll
watch
have
the
season
Falcons,
game
you know?
tickets, of course. But I'm just talking about the season ticket
Season
holders.
tickets, they get the priority seating anyways.
Exactly, and playoff tickets and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure there'll be some extra perks.
Yeah.
So, wrapping it up on the NFL, transitioning over to the NBA.
NBA.
We got playoff seeding to talk about. We got MVP races to discuss.
Indeed.
Steve Nash retired. Let's talk about Steve Nash really quick, man.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash finally hung it up and called it a career. The moment I heard that, I forget where I was. I might have been in my car driving somewhere, and I almost wanted to let go of the steering wheel and just start applauding because he finally gets it. Like, you know, I can't do this. My body's breaking down. Why am I continuously being a liability to my teammates when I'm out there?
Right.
You know, he didn't play, and if anything, he's hogging up a roster spot where the Lakers could just grab somebody and
for some good
try
money.
to develop and maybe, you know, discover somebody. You know,
Some
we need
good
help.
money. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm happy to hear it. You know, it's been a great career for him. You know, obviously before he signed with the Lakers, like I said, I wish he would have retired 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Before taking that deal. I have mixed feelings on his retirement because, for one, it feels like I was always on the opposite end of Steve Nash's historical moments when he goes off for these crazy assist games.
But he was great.
Puts up all these crazy points. Yeah, like
Right.
I was on the receiving end of that, being a Lakers fan, because we're in the same conference. So we saw them over and over and over, and in the playoffs even. I mean, come on. Enough is enough, Steve Nash. I got sick of watching him just weave in and out of the lane, throwing passes, doing that little floater he does. Great player, great passer, great teammate, even better teammate from what I read about him and hear about him, and how he's able to make other people better.
Yeah, I'd say he's one of the last true point guards. You know, now we're getting into this hybrid, you know, I'm a point guard, but I shoot 25 shots a game. You know, I mean, he was a scorer, but his passing and the way he kind of cut the court up, you know?
What? I don't know, though. I don't want to call him a traditional point guard. I think like John Stockton when I think traditional point guards.
Yeah.
Steve Nash, in my opinion, wasn't necessarily that. Steve Nash had a lot of white chocolate in him. Remember that dude, the street
Jason
baller?
Williams.
Yeah.
Jason Williams.
Yeah.
How can we
Like
forget?
Steve Nash
White
was like
chocolate.
the original white chocolate, in my opinion. 'Cause I
Canadian
remember
chocolate. He was Canadian chocolate.
He was doing it, man. Like, he came in. I remember with Dallas, he was doing all kinds of fancy passes, no look, off the elbow.
Oh, yeah.
type
You
of
know,
stuff. Like,
he had great moves. Great moves, but that's what I go back to. He was one of the last pass, you know, pass.
okay.
You know,
Pass
my
first.
teammate's over there. Now he's going to do a flashy pass.
right.
But he's not going to shoot it when he sees somebody cutting to the basket. You know,
Right.
like I'm sure the Dallas Mavericks teammates and the Phoenix Sun teammates
Yeah.
really scored a lot more with him on the court. You know,
Oh,
and that's what
absolutely.
the stats look at.
Yeah, I think
On
he
the
made
court, off
guys
the court.
all-stars, you know, based on his passing, you know.
Keep going to the basket. I'm going to keep getting you, you know. So he's one of those guys, you know.
Yeah, he made a lot of guys a lot of money in the NBA, hands down. I don't know. Like I said, his retirement's kind of bittersweet based on, you know, the fact that I was always on the receiving end.
Right.
And also because of something he did recently. A couple of seasons ago, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but there was a report put out that interviewed Steve Nash, and he was talking about how, you know, he appears to be in decline at this stage in his career, this and that. The question was geared towards his ultimate retirement and when he's going to retire. He came out and said something like, oh, I don't have any plans on retiring because I know I'm going to get paid this season regardless. And I think we owed him like $15 million or guaranteed $17 million or something. I was like, really, dude?
Came out and said that, huh?
He came flat out and said, I'm here for the money. I'm here for my check.
Yeah.
Pay me. F you, pay me is pretty much what happened. I'm just like, dude, it's okay to think that because a lot of players are in that for that very reason.
Oh, yeah, especially towards the ends. Towards the end, that's what they're looking at. What am I walking away with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go through PR training and all that. They know how to properly answer questions. Don't just let it come out like
just
that.
Just because he's
man.
thinking that doesn't mean he had to say it. Exactly.
Right. Don't hold my team hostage. You know, I mean, come on, bro.
Get this LA check real quick.
So from that moment forward, knowing how the man really thinks at the end of the day, it really bothered me as a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
So it kind of tarnished his image, man. I don't see him as this great teammate, this iconic passer and this and that.
Oh, I understand, man. I understand.
Yeah.
Once you lose respect for a player.
Exactly.
You know, that's it. You know,
exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. And it's not that I don't respect what he did on the court. I just, as a human being, like, you just don't do certain things, in my opinion.
Oh, man.
So that's just kind of dirty. So I don't really think that, of course, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Indeed.
You know, whenever that announcement's made, he's already going to be penciled in.
Right. First ballot. First ballot. Back-to-back MVPs, 05 and 06.
So, yeah, man, I just still can't get that nasty taste out of my mouth. He signed this deal knowing that the Lakers are going to pay him. And I think he had to play less than, 20 games. I mean, I don't know how many games he played as a Laker.
He got a sweet deal. He got
a lot of money
deal
to come get some rehab. Like,
play 20 games.
He could have done that in Minnesota or somewhere else.
Anywhere else,
come on.
right? He could have went back to Dallas and let Mark Cuban pay for that. You know, I mean, anything else.
I saw him in a video. He was in a club or something, dancing with some young girl.
He was on the golf course.
Yeah.
Don't forget the golf video.
Supposedly when he's injured post-surgery, he's supposed to be rehabbing. This dude is in there getting it in. Like, forget the rehab, man. I'm just out here to have a good time and get paid.
Indeed.
So that kind of tarnishes things for me. But do you have any particular moments that stick out about Steve Nash and just in general what your thoughts are about his career?
Well, you know, he had a great career. Like I stated earlier,
right?
MVP 05 and 06.
No doubt.
A lot of people, especially Laker fans, say that at least one of those MVPs should have been Kobe's.
True.
That's another podcast. We can talk about that later.
In the face again, like I said.
We can talk about that later. A lot of people
always
are
on the receiving end of Steve Nash's accomplishments.
Speaking of, off the field, off the court issues, I mean, the guy had great years, but some people say that the off the court stuff kind of were like swayed everybody to Nash for MVP. Like, all right, this guy is having a great year, but we don't want to Steve Nash, And then they took 2 years in a row.
That's what they did.
A lot of people say that. But,
looking back on it now, that's exactly what happened.
Because he was balling. But anyway, I mean, the man dished out over 10,000 assists. Something else I would also remember, I mean, if you watch any of those playoff games, I think he took about 10,000 elbows to the face, too. Because this guy was coming out of games with black eyes, nose
he was
leaking.
A competitor. He would compete.
I never saw a basketball player look like that at the end of a game.
Like a hockey player.
Looked like he got hit by a truck at the end of the game, and this guy's on the basketball court. So I will always have the respect for him playing with that grit, Right. Nowadays, guys get hit once, then they go and come back with a mask. I mean, this guy was just getting the ice, coming right back out. Yeah, he had cotton balls hanging out of his nose. I mean, real competitor.
Absolutely.
Never played on my team, so I can't say I love the guy, but I mean, definitely a great competitor, great ambassador of basketball for Canada, and I'm sure, like I said, the Suns and Mavericks fans got the best years as him, definitely.
Hands down.
And I'm sure they'll probably both retire his jersey.
Yeah.
So, legacy will live on.
And he basically made Mike D'Antoni. Mm-hmm. I mean,
made everybody think D'Antoni was a genius.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the reason why D'Antoni got those last couple of jobs.
Hey, D'Antoni and Nash both got checks from the Lakers. Think about that.
Come on, bro.
Think about that. I'm just saying.
Man. Shots fired, man. Come on.
Maybe D'Antoni called him and said, "Hey, man, you go over to LA.
Seriously, man.
They'll pay you. You play about 10 games, sit out about 120. We got a couple million here, man. We got a couple million for you,
Let's not even talk about dude in the Pringles box.
All right.
Get him out of here.
But anyway, forget about D'Antoni. I wanted to talk to you about this MVP race, man.
Okay.
NBA MVP race looks like it's a 4-way crazy thing going on right now.
Yeah. Might have a photo finish.
Yeah, you got Westbrook has a triple-double in his sleep. Westbrook just had his 10th triple-double last night.
Right.
Carrying OKC without Durant.
Right.
27 points a game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Then you got James Harden.
Doing it.
Fear the Beard. Another guy just going off. He's holding it down without Dwight Howard. Yesterday, 51 points. Same day that Westbrook had his 10th triple-double.
Right.
51 points. Now he's averaging 27, 5 boards, 7 assists. Very similar numbers.
Yeah, pretty close, man.
Then you got Curry. Now you call them the Splash Brothers. I call him the Super Splash Brother. He's having 23 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7.8 assists. And, he probably got a couple hundred votes just off of what he did to Chris Paul the other night. If anybody didn't see that, he kind of dehumanized Chris Paul in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Dehumanized the guy.
Yeah, the memes have hit social media.
I saw him on skateboards, playing Twister.
BMX bikes, doing stunts off of.
Hey, I haven't seen as many memes since Pacquiao got dropped that last time. Yeah. They had all the crazy memes. Hulk Hogan dropping the elbows on him.
Everybody has a Chris Paul meme right now.
Oh, poor guy.
It was like rapid fire.
Yeah, he had 41 the next night just to try to get everybody to forget about it. But everybody's still talking about that crossover.
Man. That was a play.
Last but not least, you got the guy who plays so good all the time, you kind of forget about him.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Right.
Just sitting there, so spectacular on every single night, 30 points, you don't even blink, but he's having 25 points a game, almost 6 rebounds and 7 assists.
Right.
Everybody's numbers are pretty similar.
And the Cavs are creeping up there in the East.
Cavs are creeping up. They've already secured a playoff spot. Now there's some injury concerns now. Okay. Love and his back. Irving's got a couple things going on.
But Love was
kind of limping into the playoffs.
Huge contributor anyway, though.
That's true.
I remember seeing Love on the bench when he was healthy.
Yeah.
Looking mad. He's definitely out of there after the season. But that's a different topic for a different day.
Kevin Love experiment. Not working out too well.
Experiment.
Not
but it's
working
okay.
out too well.
It's okay because he's still going to hitch along. He's going to hitch a ride all the way to the NBA Finals.
Hey.
Might get a chip, man.
I know some teams that'll pay top dollar for him. I'll tell you that. So.
Yeah, hands down.
He'll be
Lakers
happy.
probably being one of them. No doubt.
Yeah. Lakers love UCLA and USC guys. Love those guys. I've noticed that right away. Look at Farmar. The only reason he's even had a career is because of the Lakers.
It would have been nice if we would have been able to get Westbrook, but we got Farmar instead. So whatever.
It's a long career.
Who do you think will be hoisting up this MVP trophy at the end of the season?
Well, I look at a few things. I look at the team. I look at the player. I look at their whole situation.
Right.
And I'm looking at, it's one thing bringing 30, 40 points, even several times in a year. But a triple-double, all those times, 10 triple-doubles.
Right.
And I'm looking at these rebounding stats for a point guard. For a point guard to get 10 boards alone 10 times in a year is incredible. It's not like he's Penny Hardaway. He's not 6'9".
True.
Just off the rebounds alone, this guy's pulling in 10 triple-doubles without KD. Without KD is why it's happening.
Right. Of course. That's the only reason why he has the opportunity. Right.
He's got the green light. He does what he wants right now.
Right.
But, 10 triple-doubles is 10 triple-doubles. I personally say Westbrook. Even though out of those 4 guys, his team is doing the worst.
Wow.
And
that's what it's going to come down to as well.
That's going to be a key factor. So, it's probably going to be out of LeBron, Harden, and Curry. But 10 triple-doubles is 10 triple-doubles. I mean, that's
it's hard to beat. It's hard to do.
It's hard to count that guy.
It's an amazing feat. No, I tell you. I kid you not. I remember LeBron did that too. LeBron was like a walking triple-double for a while as well.
And he could do that whenever he wants. So any given night, he could do that. If he really set his heart out to it, he could average that if he wanted,
I'm going against conventional wisdom here. Everybody is playing great.
Right.
I got to lean toward King James, man. I think King James is going to pull out yet another one. There's a little bit of the popularity contest thing is going to be going on.
Right.
But how he's resurrected the Cavs franchise is going to play a huge role into giving them that.
NBA loves that.
They weren't even close to being in the playoffs last season, right?
No.
They were like bottom tier team.
They were almost like the Knicks last year. Exactly.
And then he shows up and they struggle in the beginning, just like I said they would. I'm going on record. I told you before the season started.
You said
watch out for the Cavs. They're going to struggle early, and then they're going to figure it out the same way the Heat did. They figured it out right around playoff time, and they're rolling.
Started rolling, yeah.
So it has to be King James just for that very reason. Not to take anything away from any of the other guys that are doing their thing right now. It's just how one player is that valuable that can just show up and just instantly turn around a franchise. That's the name of the award, man. It's the MVP.
Most valuable player. That's it,
by
man.
far. Without him, they're nothing. With him, they're in the playoffs, and they could possibly compete for a top seed. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I think to a certain extent, people might be tired of seeing him winning.
Don't matter.
But
can't hate on him. Can't hate on the production. That's how valuable he is.
Now, if he had been able to come in and immediately lock up the West, I think it would be like nobody would even have a chance at this point. If they were at the top with 60 wins.
The East or the West?
In the East.
Okay.
If they were able to lock it all up, I might be agreeing with you. I still think he's the front runner. He's LeBron James. He's the front runner. We'll see how it goes, but it's also kind of a changing of the guards as far as these new younger players coming up.
Right.
You got all these new, every year middle school kids turn into high school kids. Their favorite players changing, I'm even seeing all these people talking about, they're going to go buy Under Armour shoes and all this and that. I never thought I'd hear that.
Right.
Can't really count out Steph Curry either. He's definitely a popular favorite, especially around all these, I'd say, 18 and younger, all these young
kids
NBA fans. They're all looking up to him at this point.
Yeah,
so.
they're going to start coming down, launching threes and turning their back before the shot even hits the rim.
Right, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's the number one vote getter next year, All-Star break. Oh, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised at all. No, regardless of who wins MVP, because it seems
you're totally right. Yeah, we're going to see next year's All-Star game. Even we saw it this year. Like, there's a lot of players that we aren't used to seeing there.
Yeah, dunk contest. Look at the dunk contest.
A lot of these guys are just going to come out of nowhere, and that's just the transition you're talking about.
That's
the NBA is definitely moving.
It's changing around.
Definitely moving.
Now they're looking at LeBron like the old man at the top now, and he was the young guy trying to get to the top. So everything's turning around,
man. It's a machine. That's just the way the professional sports work.
Yeah, it really hit me when in this topic real quick. It really hit me when the LeBron, because I'm all into the shoes.
Right.
LeBron came out with the number 11 shoe, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's been 11 seasons, and I'm thinking about
that time.
When the Jordan 11s came out, he was like right at the top, starting to turn that hill, And now I know LeBron, he skipped college.
Right.
So it's different. It's 11 years in. It's more
Sure. It's still miles. Still mileage. Still basketball.
But yeah, that's when it really hit me. Like, wow, he's been in 11 seasons already. I remember when this guy was, fresh rookie.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday, man. Time just flashes.
All things got to go.
And speaking of the youth movement, we are joined by a very special guest on the S&S podcast.
Very special guest.
Milwaukee's very own number 22 star shooting guard, Khris Middleton. Thanks for joining us today, Chris. How's it going?
I'm good, man. What about y'all?
Oh, man. Everything is everything, man. We appreciate you for joining us on the podcast today.
No problem at all, man. No problem.
So I read the article earlier in the season which basically compared you to NBA player Gordon Hayward. So is there any current player in the NBA that you would compare yourself to?
I just take a little bit from everybody's game. I just try to incorporate mine. I mean, there's some good players in this league. You can always learn from them.
I got you.
All right. And I was wondering, now that you've been in the league for a few seasons, what player would you say is your toughest defensive assignment? Could you name one person in particular?
I can use a couple. I mean, of course, the superstars like LeBron, KD, and Carmelo. I think those are the toughest guys. They have the ball in their hands for the majority of the game that they're playing or something.
I got you.
Out there will most of the time.
Right.
That's what's up, man. So, first of all, I got to say congrats on hitting that big shot last night. That was a crazy play.
Huge shot.
You know, to put away the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Big shot.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So, you know, I played a little bit of ball myself. You know, I didn't make it quite as far as you did, obviously. But, you know, every once in a while, a shooter just has that moment where they let a shot go and they just know it's going to drop regardless. Was that how that shot was for you, man?
It kind of was. You know, I got a great look at it when I caught the ball. So, I mean, I just tried to catch it and shoot it. I made the time was coming down. So, once I let it go, I had a feeling that was going to be good. I just worked on it.
Yeah, that was a great shot. I saw
crazy,
everybody
man.
going crazy.
Play.
Yeah, great. And the best part about it, in my opinion, is that it was kind of like a quick second to think kind of play. You know, the shot that was drawn up, missed, the rebound went off, it went to your way, and then the rest is history, you know?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you really quick, what's it like playing under a coach like Jason Kidd, you know, a person that's been a big player in his own right? And were you a fan of his growing up?
Yeah, definitely was a fan. I mean, it's great having him there in Milwaukee. I mean, once you got an NBA player, an ex-NBA player, future Hall of Fame coach, you're going to listen to everything he has to say. So he's been doing a great job with us. He's trying to teach us the game. Yeah,
that's right. And he did a good job in Brooklyn as well. And I see that you guys are having a great amount of success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from day one, he's been on us about getting better every day, learning the game, and taking one game at a time. And that's exactly what we've done so far this season.
Exactly, man. And you guys are doing your thing this year in the East, man. You guys pretty much are in control of your own destiny with a playoff seed, you know, heading into the final month of the season. What did your squad have to do, man, to keep the momentum rolling and ultimately bring a Larry O'Brien trophy to the city of Milwaukee?
Yeah, to get to that point, it's going to take a process. It's going to take a couple years. But we're definitely heading in the right direction. I mean, like you said, we're in control of our own destiny. So, I mean, just trying to win each one of these games out to finish the season strong and get the playoff season that we want.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And what do you think?
One game at a time. Yeah,
and what do you think you could credit to your team's success this far into the season? What do you think has been the key factor?
I think the experience went through last year. I mean, last year was a horrible season for us. I mean, so a lot of guys took that during the summer to work on their games to help us out this year.
That's right.
I mean, experience is very important in this league. So, I mean, what we went through last year is definitely helped us get through this year. And just trusting in one another and just having that team chemistry.
Okay, definitely.
And just to piggyback on those experiences that you were talking about, man, I know you've grown a lot since your rookie season. You've been in the league a couple seasons now, and what do you say that throughout those couple of years, man, that you've really been able to focus in on and like fine tune your game on?
I mean, you just try to do a little bit of everything better each year in the league. I think the one thing that I've learned this season is how hard you have to play to win each game. I mean, it's never an easy night in the NBA. So, I mean, you have to play as hard as you can every night to have a chance to win.
I got you. And then with that, just to follow up, man, was there ever a moment that really just hit you once you became an NBA player that stuck out, that made you feel like I really belong in this league? I could really play with these dudes?
I would say probably my rookie year when I was in practice, when I was going against Corey McGinn and Taylor Prince. I mean, those are guys that I looked at you growing up, watching them play on TV in the playoff. And then I was practicing and playing against them every day.
All right. Well, that's almost all the questions we have for you tonight, Khris. I thank you for your time. One quick wrap-up question I had for you. You know, the NBA is all about the flashy footwear. I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite basketball shoe of all time to play in?
My favorite basketball shoe? That probably has to be some Air Jordan Retro 11s. I mean, I can't play
yes.
on the court right now. But,
Classic.
Yes, yes.
Whenever I have a chance, I definitely want them to try to play in them.
Yeah, those are the winners, man. Me and my man Smitty both very heavy on the 11s. Very,
Yes,
very
indeed.
good
Those are my
choice.
shoes. Those are my shoes, hands down.
Excellent.
You know, and my last question, man, before I let you go, I know you got to get out of here, man. It's not really a question per se. I don't know how much you can really speak on the subject, but I'm a diehard Lakers fan through and through. All right, my heart pumps and bleeds purple and gold, man. So I know you're in a contract year this year. Your phone's going to be ringing off the hook starting July 1st or whenever free agency really kicks off, man. When Mitch Kupchak calls, man, I got to ask you, can you please pick up the phone and at least have a conversation with the man? Please, we need some help out here, bro.
I would definitely pick up the phone. Yeah.
There you go.
All right,
He'll
man.
definitely pick up the phone. All right, well, Chris, thank you so much for taking a moment to get in contact with us, and hope to be in contact with you soon.